We can dance if you want to. We can leave your friends behind. Because your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine.
Kill it with fire!
Well, I can hear you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Threads of Truth for the third week in a row. This is some kind of record for us, with technical difficulties each week. So, yes, we're doing fine. Everything's fine. There's nothing wrong here. How is everyone in chat? I want you to know that Banshee has decided to front load me with like 30 Reddit things, and I think she's doing it specifically. I think she's doing it with some of the titles to get a bingo on purpose. So she may be doing this.
Hey, some of those was your wife, not all me. I did 6 of them.
I honestly think she's trying to manipulate the Reddit to get a bingo.
Not really. The first 2 was kind of interesting, and then the titles of the other ones I posted was a little shock, and I kind of want to know more of the story, but I didn't want to read them.
I see. I don't know if I believe that, but I guess we'll find out.
But the second one that I sent, oh my god.
That good. Well,
and
I don't know if
start, it kind of makes me just want to throw into our technical issues and let Bonchan do his. I don't know what's happening here. Just ignore the beginning of the stream thing.
Well, you did say we have an ad coming immediately, so, you know.
I ignored it.
Well, it's going to show up after you do your dismiss thing.
Yeah, it's going to eventually show up.
But I don't know if Ishtar's going to be in the chat unless she wakes up. She,
la, la, la.
Yes, she fell asleep on the couch.
The couch ate Ishtar, and now she's in lullaby land.
Very much so, unfortunately. But we can do this without her, as long
as we don't need to ban somebody on a chat, because she'll yell at us for pressing buttons.
Well, you know, I was able to work the buttons before just fine, and nothing bad happened, so it should be fine.
And you also work the buttons and cause chat to go crazy.
Yes, that was one time. Just one. It's not like it happens every single time. Well, I do know how to do things, sort of. I haven't personally streamed on Twitch in, God, I think 4 years. But, you know, I have started to do something different.
Do you want to tell the chat what you're working on, or do you want to wait until you post your first video on it?
If you want, I could even put the link in chat, but I don't think anybody's going to go. I'm starting a new channel that will actually allow me to do more than what I'm doing now. Like just the singular videos. It's basically made for doing regular videos, shorts, and TikTok. I won't be doing reels because I don't use Facebook at all.
Instagram sucks.
Speaking of reels, Facebook has rules, right? Mm-hmm. And there's not supposed to be certain things on Facebook, like sex and full-on nudity, and all of the things that are the naughty bits that is really not supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. I was scrolling through my reels the other day.
Antwon?
And an ad for what?
You left us for a little bit. You said
Don't
reels and then poof.
be afraid, I'm still here. Well, see, the demon is talking about him, and he doesn't want me to let people in on something.
Oh god, the Borg! They're coming!
Do I have to restart again?
Mm.
I don't want to. I have everything opened up. It's going to take forever to get back. All right, we're just going to go through it. So, I'm going through my reels, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of them, I scroll up, and it's a man, full frontal nudity. The next image is a black man, full frontal nudity. Both of them not aroused. And then, well, it's talking about how, you can take this supplement and grow 3 inches within, certain amount of time. And then it starts showing actual sex. I was dumbfounded and
Oh no.
could not believe that this was just on normal. Oh, it was just a little bit. I'm talking they are doing like the highlighted words
Mm-hmm.
in front of all of it, and we're talking it's full on sex scenes. There's a climax. There's a money shot. The whole thing on Facebook. I don't know if there's anybody actually paying attention to the people who are doing the advertising. I guess if you pay them enough, they'll just let you put on whatever you want. And then I started scrolling a little bit more. I like past that, and it showed up again.
Jesus. Hey, can you entertain chat for a little bit? I gotta go deal with something. I'll be right back.
It. I only have to entertain you all for about 40 seconds, and then an ad is going to show up. Oh God, it's worse. Instead of just turning off her camera, she's now just staring at us, blinking, dead-eyed. I don't know actually what to do here. So, I guess I could. I don't know. Psycho, have you seen any of this on Facebook? I know that Facebook has laxed their regulations. You can show nipple now. Oh dear God. But have you ever seen anything like that specifically on like Facebook or Instagram or whatever? Do you use those? I guess is the question. Like, I'm used to seeing thirst traps. If you look at one on Reels for longer than 5 seconds, suddenly the algorithm is like, oh, you must like this. We're going to give you thousands more. Twitter's even worse. I ended up liking one post, just one post on Twitter, and I saw nothing but that for the next 3 days. I ended up having to mute the damn people. Look, I don't mind AI art, and it was very paint, like an outlined image of a person, an anime waifu, I guess you could say, and then like it was splashed paint all over it. It was very neon. It was very cool. It's just mind numbing. Well, the ad will end in 50 seconds. I don't know what I can do for 50 seconds, but I'll do something.
Sorry about that.
Oh, there you go. You're moving.
Yeah, I'm back.
You were just sitting there, staring dead-eyed, floating there, just blinking. Ishtar is Ishtar showed up, immediately left, and then came back.
It sounds like what I did to poor chat too.
But yeah, so I don't know why Instagram and Reels is allowing like straight on nudity and
TikTok
sex.
is too. There's some. My husband's been coming across full on sex scenes on TikTok.
I don't like it's a
It's art.
well, I know that there is what is it? It's a naked yoga. Like you can naked yoga and breastfeeding and doing things like quote unquote artistic on YouTube, and they allowed it
Isn't the
and
naked
still do.
yoga also allowed on Twitch too? But yet my shoulders are no problem.
Ishtar, the women who are doing the naked yoga are very much attractive, and that's how they make their money by being very attractive and doing yoga lessons nude.
Is the board coming back?
You froze.
I didn't freeze. I'm in shock. You
I
are glitching
see
like a
you froze.
motherfucker. Ha! You're glitching.
It's not me.
Are you sure?
Positive. I just watched you freeze for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, and the whole time you watched me freeze, your screen was glitching like the Matrix was coming.
Well, I mean, according to certain people, we are in the Matrix, and they get attacked regularly for the things that they do to themselves. It's literally like grabbing their hand and slapping themselves in the face and going, "Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And speaking of that front,
Hi.
Romania, for those of you who don't know, just passed a new law that sex offenders are going to be forcefully castrated.
Isn't a certain boy, I mean man,
Oh no,
arrested
he's a boy.
arrested there?
Yes, him and his idiot brother.
So they're threatening to castrate him?
Well, being that it's a law, it's not really threatening then. But I mean, we've seen the tater tot in a mankini kind of thing. There's not much there to castrate.
I mean, Ish
It's,
has got a point.
I mean, I don't. I guess you could do chemical castration. It kills the libido. But that depends though, because female sex offenders don't do it for the same reason male sex offenders do it. It is still about power, but like male sex offenders do it for the power over women or their target of choice. In instances of, you know, do you mind if I say the R word, or do we just want to say SA like they do on TikTok and Twitter and everywhere else?
Meh. I don't think I'm gonna get banned everywhere.
So, in the instance of rape, male sex offenders do it not only for the power over their target, they do it also for the sexual gratification. They get off on that as well as the power. Female sex offenders don't necessarily do that for the sexual gratification. It's seen as more taking back what was like taken from them. So their version of using it for power, which is why it's usually younger people. It's not about the sex. It's about being able to control someone. It's about the manipulation. So I don't know. I don't know if chemical castration would actually work for them. Because, like I said, it's not about the gratification, it's about the power. So that would be a mental thing.
Nah.
Well, you're the one with the degrees in every, STEM thing known to man.
Only sociology and psychology, and only one of those is a science degree, and that's the psychology one. Even though sociology
Well,
should be one because it's a study of society.
well, you have a psychology degree, so am I right or am I wrong? It deals with the mental. So that would be something, I don't know how you could do that with female sex offenders.
Well, female sex offenders also it can be sexual gratification, and same as the men. It's more socially acceptable than it is with men.
Yeah, I know the stupid stigma of if I had a teacher like that when I was younger.
Mhm.
It's still statutory rape, but it's still
Mhm.
against the law.
Mhm.
But it's I don't know. I don't know how Romania. That's up to Romania for Romania to decide. I'm not. They wouldn't want me on their parliament. So,
I don't know.
but yeah, it's
I mean,
the sexual. I don't mind. Like, I'm someone who likes racy things. Okay, I don't mind sexy female characters in video games, or sexy male characters in video games for that matter. I don't mind, you know, sex scenes in movies, depending on what it is. I don't mind all of that stuff. But I do think that there should be certain spaces that that is not allowed. Instagram should be one of them because it caters to an extremely young demographic. Twitter, I don't necessarily mind it being on Twitter. Twitter has gone from like I'm gonna send out messages while I'm on the toilet place to people having full on discussions about politics and everything from movies to politics to how the weather works. So I don't necessarily care about that, but in the same instance of Instagram, I believe that Facebook should be kind of free of that as well. I don't I don't know what Facebook is doing letting these ads play. Like they don't check the ad. How can they not check the ad?
I mean that's a good question.
Even a simple AI program that scans through it should know exactly what it is. Like you show images, okay, how it scan the images.
I have no idea, and it drives me up a wall.
MySpace would never allow this.
Right, I swear. People should have listened to me and stayed on MySpace, but no. Facebook's got better. It's got games.
MySpace. The problem with MySpace is they didn't update the interface. Like you still had all of the GeoCities stuff, and there were some pages that you could click on that at the time would just completely brick your computer. It wouldn't work or whatever it was. depending on how new your computer was. So I understand that. And then there was what is Gaia Online still a thing?
I believe so. Give me 2 seconds and I could go on to that website and see if it is. I haven't logged on it for God knows how long because I don't remember his password.
I admit Gaia I haven't been there in like 12 years.
Yes, Sky Online's still a thing.
Wow. If I could remember my password, I'd go on and sell all of my items and make millions because I have all of the old things now. Oh, that doesn't make me feel any better. I got called out by a Facebook short today, and I did not like it very much.
Oh.
Okay, I've been playing Magic the Gathering for a very long time. And one of a short came up from one of the channels that I follow, and it's two people playing a game. And one of the people plays a card from a set called Return to Ravnica. And the person they're playing says, "Oh, what's that? It's one of those old cards." And the person who played it said, "What are you talking about? It's not an old card. It's from Return to Ravnica." And the other person goes, "Yeah, it's from 2014. That was 11 years ago." I went, oh, I feel so old now. Fuck you. You can't do that. You can't just call everyone out like that. Return to Ravnica goes when Magic was becoming very, very popular. Fuck off.
Now I feel like none of my cards is worth looking at anymore because I think my newest one is in 2014.
Like I've been playing since 1994, so it's God, 31 years. I've been playing for 31 years.
There is cards
I'm
in
such a
this.
fucking nerd.
There's cards in this house that dates back to Gen 1.
Nice. I think I have one because I ended up selling my collection before I moved, and I think I have one right now after selling. It was in one of my decks that I didn't get rid of. That's from 3rd edition, revised. So yeah, but I felt called out, and that wasn't fair. Can't just do that on shorts when you're scrolling through. So, how has your week been?
Weird.
Yes, I am what?
I said it's been weird.
No, Ishtar, she said, yes,
Oh.
you are, Antwon. I don't know what she's talking about. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's still half asleep.
Be nice to her.
I am being nice. I'm always nice.
What the? So, I kinda got my Gaia Online count back. I kinda didn't.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
How do you kind of and kind of not?
I'll explain in a second.
Well, you have to re-verify your email.
It says to. It's being stupid. Okay. Log in. Put my log in. Please reactivate your account. You haven't been logged in for a while, so please check your email and reactivate your account.
Yeah, they sent you a re-verification.
And that it doesn't exist. It's not in my junk. It's not in my inbox. It does not exist.
It may take a bit. So I had to open up a brand new email for the new thing that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahoo was like, I'm sorry, YouTube was like, we sent you a email. If you could click on that and put the code in, we'd greatly appreciate it. I waited. They were like, if you don't see it, check your spam. Okay, it's not my spam. 10 minutes later, still nothing. I'm like, how is it 2025 and your automated response bot can't actually send an email? It took them 20 minutes to get me an email. I thought the code would have been, useless at that point, but no, it still worked. And I have the new channel and everything, but it's just, how is it that you can't get, like, there are some that are like instantaneous. They're like, we're sending you a link, and bam, it's in your email right away. And then there's places like Gaia's like, we're going to send you an email, make sure you check it. 2 years later, it finally shows up.
Right.
I don't even remember the name. I don't even think I have the email that I use Gaia Online for anymore.
So it finally showed, and I clicked the link to verify everything again, and it said general error. Your activation key is invalid.
You just sent me the email.
Right?
How is it invalid?
Oh, fuck.
It's not my nerd channel, Ishtar. It's your husband's nerd channel.
Well, this channel turned into a nerd channel.
Aside from Gaia Online, did you ever do anything like any of the other ones?
Like which ones?
What's the hotel one?
Nope.
Habbo Hotel, or Club Penguin, or Club Disney, or whatever.
Nope. Didn't do Club Penguin. I did do Neopets.
I did Neopets for like a week, and then I got bored with it.
Oh
Like,
no, login incorrect. Bullshit! I just made that shit! Oh my god.
My front. I don't know what you're talking about. You know what? If you're going to talk to me like that, Ishtar, you come on here and you speak to me. And then I'm going to torture you with Reddit and not let you leave.
Oh no. Oh no.
No, even better, I'll find some cringe to read.
There's cringe in there. Somewhere.
Is there?
Yeah. Somewheres.
Which one?
I don't remember.
Have you ever seen a globe to scale?
Yeah.
Yes, it's called the Earth. That's to scale.
Read it.
All right. We'll start early. This is from Confidently Incorrect. Have you ever seen a globe to scale? It's a picture. The names have been scratched out. So person 1 says, LOL, for those saying it's a globe that's not to scale, ask yourself, as big as Earth is, what globe is to scale? Have you ever seen a globe to scale? I don't think they know what to scale means.
Keep going.
Oh no. All right. Person 2. I'm not sure you know what to scale even means. Thank you. If we know the Earth is 29,000 miles in circumference and you want a scale model at, say, 1/50th, then you would divide 29,000 by 50, and whatever number you come up with is what the circumference of the scale model should be. You may not get every single detail, but you get the size and distance right. Shaking my head. There should be a D in there because it should be shaking my damn head. Person 1. I'm aware of what it means, so show me a globe that's to scale then. And for the record, It's 24,901 miles in circumference. Not to mention a scale model would depend on the actual chosen scale, which proves my point for the ones saying it's not to scale. Shaking my head. You said a lot of words and effort to sound smart, but you just proved you're just as incompetent as the others.
I just
Hold
got
on.
onto my Gaia Online account.
Oh no. I think screen sharing is in order.
Okay, then let me move this off of the tab that it's on so I don't end up getting doxxed. Not like it's hard for people to dox me.
Like the last time I was on Gaia, they just introduced their game, the ZOMG game.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not have a computer that was able to run it smoothly enough. You need to... darling, you have your name showing.
I didn't know ST Little Dark Angel is my name.
No, it was next to your Outlook.
Eh.
Oh, look at you with the emo hair.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they haven't changed this layout.
Is that all you have? Is that your outfit?
Yeah, that's my
Or
outfit.
did they got rid of everything else for you?
No, I still have everything. It looks like I still have my cool closet. I didn't spend money into this damn thing. I just spent a lot of time.
Oh God! All right, I'm gonna look.
Oh
See
my
if
god!
I'm-
I have the wings still. I remember when I got these.
All right, I'm gonna. Anime website is what it is shown as.
Jesus. I forgot all of this. What the fuck?
Yeah, maybe it's that one.
Yeah. Okay, stop.
Oh, okay. Let's reset my password.
And the name on my Outlook is the same name as on my book, so that's not really doxing myself more than I already have. But on that window thing did have my actual location. That's what I was referring to.
Got it.
Now I'm curious on if I can get onto Neopets. What has this stream have become?
All right, hold on.
Yeah, I have been using the same 2 emails since Google was
I
in
just
training.
reset. I just reset my password. Oh, I have to reactivate my account.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, Neopets is still a thing.
How is it still a thing?
Yeah.
I'm afraid. I got a daily gift. But is it... I think... I have messages.
I I didn't even check to see if I had messages. I just went to see if I can get into my Neopets.
Oh, that's right. I have a secondary account too. So my character. All right. How do I? Where is? There we are. Oh my god.
It's nostalgia night.
Oh my. It doesn't have. It got rid of all of my things.
Wow.
Or is it the other one? Is it the... Hold on. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. But yeah, it got rid of all of my things.
Wow. It didn't get rid of all mine. There might be some things missing, but I still even had those damn wings, which I had forever.
You can get married on Gaia Online now, apparently.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Where's profile? Oh, God. It's not it's not showing anything that I used to have. I don't know how I feel about that.
Did you spend money on it?
I did. Spent quite a bit of money on Gaia Online.
I spent nothing, so I couldn't.
Psycho says they still have a Furby.
Ooh, Furby. You can get those in the thrift stores. They're also reselling them.
Oh, hold on.
But oh my god. Holy crap, chat. This is weird. This is weird. Did not expect to go down this rabbit hole.
We went down the Gaia rabbit hole. There's no coming back from the Gaia rabbit hole. I'm actually kind of upset that they got rid of all of my things. I know that I may not have been online on Gaia Online for like 12 years, but I paid for that shit. You keep it in my inventory, you bitches. Just saying.
I'm not that old, Neopets. Stop it. I went to scroll and it put me in. I just scrolled just an itty bitty tiny. I just moved the scrolly thing just an itty bitty. Put it in 1960.
Well, you sound good for your age.
Oh my god, I'm in my Neopets account.
I'm not even gonna go and look at my Neopets. Like I said, I was on Neopets for like a week.
I lived on that one. Like straight
I
up.
had friends that did the same thing. They played Neopets all the time.
Dude, look at this. I think it's obvious what my favorite color is.
Possibly might be blue.
Oh my god.
There's an ad. There's an ad.
It ends in
In
a
the lower
minute.
right. Well, I'm saying we saw it on your screen.
Yeah, it ends soon. The names of these things, though. Oh my god, I didn't name them. I let it friends name these, and oh my god, they're so bad. Batty the Shipru, and then Neo Pink
Look,
Walnut.
I had a DeviantArt account that
I
was
used to have that.
just filled with cringe. So, I don't have it anymore. I had a mutual enemy of ours decided to go back 10 fucking years to find a picture of me and my then wife and use it to their advantage. And, I don't care if you make fun of me. That's fine. Don't bring my ex-wife into this. She has nothing to do with it. You don't need to take the picture of her.
Is it the one that happens to be a rat?
A rat?
The mutual enemy, because we have a few of them.
Oh no, the mutual enemy that did it is no longer alive, and he used to be a griffin.
Oh, wait.
A drunk griffin.
I know who you're talking about, but did not know he was not of this world anymore.
Oh yeah, he Trippy found out. Not even Trippy. Uzi Q found out. Like 6 months ago, 7 months. It was a while ago that I found out, and yeah, he. I don't like to speak ill of the dead, but in his case, I'll make an exception. The drunk idiot was found dead alone because that's all he had in his life was nothing.
Well, he pushed everybody that even gave two shits with giggles from him away.
Yes. So the reason, did I tell you why he turned on me?
Mm-mm.
Because I was on his streams at one point. He came into mine constantly.
I was on his
So
streams often. Wonder why we didn't.
yeah, you remember Sparky's Tech Corner, right? Yeah, Sparky and I are still friends. So a while ago, long ass time ago, this is going to be a name that's going to bring back some memories. Tonka Saw. You remember Tonka? Regardless of what you think of him, I actually got to talk to him quite a bit. I think he, outside the persona, that's the problem. Well, we can talk about that later. Anyway, Sparky got into his Discord server and talked to him for like, not him specifically, but everybody in there for like 10 hours because Sparky likes to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And when he has nothing to do, he will talk. So the drunk Griffin idiot took offense to that. And at one point during Tonka's show, Sparky donated $10.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, $10 to someone who's streaming because he wanted to have his comment highlighted. The drunk idiot then said, and I quote, Sparky should be torn apart by dogs because of what he did, and I don't give a shit if anyone does anything to him. I'm sorry, you want to do that to a friend of mine because he donated $10. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yes, and because I was in the midst of drama with my former co-hosts at that time, he jumped all over that as well. I don't care. I don't know what he's doing now. Garth decided he was going to jump all over that and use that against me and blah, blah, blah. So how he turned on me is I put in a $10 super chat to Tonka saying, if you want, because they were talking about Garth, and I said, I know a bunch of scumbags, and I can give you a list of them from from A to Z. Adamantine to Zell. Well, they didn't quite like that. But I don't give a good goddamn what they like, so yeah.
Yeah. Me and that Griffin stopped talking because me and Trippy started talking again.
Yeah. That's, I mean, him, the Griffin, and the one who pretends that he's not a piece of shit and he's a good father and everything, and that he didn't split up his, you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, they didn't like that I stuck up for Trippy as well, and that's why they started going at me again. And I just kind of, listen, I have been through some shit online. You're going to have to do a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
And both of them just, like, it was ridiculous.
Me and Trippy was talking, and we found out that everything that Trippy was telling me, that Trippy was Antwon was telling me, not Antwon, dumb Griffin dude was telling me was the same things he was telling Trippy I was doing, trying to keep me and Trippy from talking. And then when me and Trippy talked after his coma, we found out what that dumb Griffin was doing, and I confronted him and mentioned I was talking to Trippy, and that's when I first started using the logo that Trippy made. And I think everybody on my channel remembers the argument because I had it all over Twitter, all over Instagram, all over YouTube, because he was stalking me. At one point in time, it was on me and Trippy's stream, Two Clowns, One Stream. Because dumb Animantine came into my chat.
Yeah. I agree with Ishtar. Some people take the internet way too seriously.
Right. Oh my god.
And Adamantine was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
He could not, and because he didn't have anything else. Like, he had the people he could control online, and that's it. He went to bed, got up, went to his job, came home, drank.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all he did.
Mm-hmm.
And
there was people that gave him interventions and told him, if you kept this way, you're going to drink yourself dead and nobody's going to be there for you.
Oh, hey, look at that. That's exactly what happened. Like, I know Catty is not a personality. Like, being the catty gay drunk is not the personality that you want. So, but there is enough of that. We have yes, something a little bit more entertaining.
Is that mother-in-law trying to rename baby?
Oh no, I'm going from bottom to top. So this one is: am I the asshole for telling a middle school girl that she was a whore?
What?
It's a short one, but yeah.
I'm scared.
The very first comment is, "You're the asshole." So, do the same thing we always do. You called a middle school girl a whore. Yes, you're an asshole. Like, unless you're in middle school as well, you're an asshole.
I mean, I've called my daughter a bitch since before she was born, but never have called her a whore. Bitch, I've called her that since before she was born. I was the first person to call her that.
Like I said, we discussed this last week. It's okay to hate your children at times. They're assholes. But all right, let's read this. Okay. I know this sounds bad, but please don't judge before you know the whole story.
Too late.
This is only a paragraph, so the whole story is very, very small. This girl, X, was a fatter 7th grader, and she had big breasts because of it. When hugging her friends, she would force their face into their cleavage. She always wore strappy, low-cut tanks and booty shorts. She was always talking about having a big dick, and she would go behind her friends' backs and pretend to go behind their friends and pretend to rail them from behind.
Like middle schoolers do.
Yeah, I am an autistic person in this group who hung out with one person officially in the group, Z. Z was a shorter female who Y would run into and push her over with her breasts. Z is my absolute best friend, and she has expressed how she's uncomfortable, but when she tries talking to Y brushes her off. I think she means X.
Most
I
likely.
asked why she didn't report X for bullying and sexual harassment, and Z told me she didn't want to be bullied and shunned. One day when sitting with Z, X walked up and started doing sexual actions. I told her that it was gross, and she's a 7th grader who acts like a slut. Am I the asshole? Slut and whore are two different things.
100% they're two different things.
But this sounds like it was written by someone who's trying to pretend to be a child.
Maybe. I mean, I've heard some adults write like that.
Yeah. The first comment is, "You're the asshole. If they make you or your friends feel uncomfortable, you should report it. People are weird, but it's not okay to call someone a slut because of how they dress or behave."
Agreed.
Yeah.
100% agree.
That is the only person that has said, yes, you're the asshole or not.
That should say something.
There's 4 other comments, and all of them are just comments. All right. This is from another one from Confidently Incorrect. Widow doesn't equal spinster. Now, first, I have to ask Banshee, do you know what a spinster is?
But maybe Jill
Okay.
doesn't know, or the viewers on YouTube.
A spinster is a woman who is single in her later age, who, Sex in the City. The girls from Sex in the City would be considered spinsters.
Yeah.
And what you're like, well, who knows what Sex in the City is? I do. I watched every single episode, and I saw both movies.
Obviously, if our viewers are still here, I'm pretty sure they're millennials, which means that they know what Sex in the City is. I mean,
Good.
we were talking about Guy Online and Neopets. That would get the younger generation to run away.
I just have to say that Sex in the City gave us the term bozo bush. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to explain it at all. So, widow doesn't equal spinster. Ladies, it finally happened. I just had a mansplaining so epic, it will never be topped. Mansplaining is not a thing.
Well,
I just
it is.
The way that they're using it isn't.
For this one, they're using it the correct way. Just read it. They're using it the correct way. I promise.
All right. I just had a man ask me why I chose to be a widow.
Told you.
I
They're using it right.
said, I'm sorry, but that's not something you choose. He said, you just need to open your heart and let someone love you instead of choosing to stay a widow. I said, what do you think a widow means exactly? This man said, a widow is when a woman gives up on dating and stays alone for the rest of her life. I said, That's not what that means. He said, I have met a lot of widows in my life, so I think I know what it means more than you. I'm done. And this is, I agree with this sentiment. I'm done. I quit. I surrender. I cannot with these men anymore.
Yeah. I read
Oh,
that. I was dumbfounded. I told Ishtar she should read that. And then I walked away from my computer for a second.
it's
Like I said, they were using mansplaining, right? They were using the word legitimately right.
a man who thinks he knows what he's talking about, trying to explain what it means. Yes, I will admit that is. Yeah, oh boy. I apologize for my gender. I don't do that often because I think people are people and men, there are bad women and bad men out there. This particular moron, this specific man, I apologize for. Because apparently he's met a lot of widows in his life. Oh, good God.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, this one is from Reddit on Wiki. And it's wife of Mr. Whiskers has an update. I don't know what... Is this the original? Oh, okay. So this this is a saga that had, so we have the original. I will read it because goddamn. And then we'll read the update. This is from r/stories. I, 27 female, discovered my husband, 30 male, has been role-playing as a cat online for 3 years. And I'm starting to think I'm the villain.
Uh-huh.
Now,
I'm
here's the
slightly
thing.
intrigued. I'm slightly scared. I don't know if I'm going to like this or want to run for the hills.
Here's the thing. It's got a tag of fiction.
Fiction. Which means
So
it's fake.
it's a story, yeah. But it has an update. So I'm a little interested.
Story. Seriously, how do you have an update on a story? Wouldn't that be what? What?
All right.
I'm so confused.
Let's hear what this one has to say. Because someone created this.
Ishtar told us to figure out why she chose this one. I'm
No, she said
more scared.
she's asking if I figured out why she chose this one. So yeah, here we are. Y'all might have seen his post. Yes, it's me, the wife who caught her husband living a secret life as a whole-ass feline in the digital underworld. When I like
Everyone
that term.
saw my
Digital
guy
underworld.
online avatar, right?
Yeah, your emo blue hair.
With the cat ears.
That's all right. I didn't get a chance to show you mine. It's got the Sephiroth long white hair and flaming pants.
I think we've talked on chat rooms before.
Possibly? I don't know. But all right.
I'll
When
have to
I
go
first
through
found-
my list later.
When I first found out, I was ready to pack my bags. 3 years. 3 years of this man typing out MLEM. The humans have abandoned me once again. While I was cooking him dinner like a dumbass. But then I did something dangerous. I went through his account. I thought I was going to find him flirting with e-girls or posting feet pics or something. What I did not expect was to find out this man is basically Cat Jesus on the internet. The way people worship him. He has lore, enemies, a whole fan base. Y'all, there are people out there writing fan fiction about him and his rival Sir Pouncelot like it's Game of Thrones for indoor cats.
I mean,
I wanted to be mad, but then I read one of his posts and it was like, human has returned home. She smells of lavender and coffee. I will forgive her. For now. He's been writing about me this whole time. He even wrote a poem once titled Warm Lap, Cold Heart, about how I wouldn't let him sit on me while I was working. I haven't known peace since I read that.
that's hilarious.
Anyway, now I'm invested. Last night, I made a burner account and left a comment on one of his posts like, Sir Whiskers, the night is long and the kibble bowl is empty. When will the rebellion begin? This motherfucker replied in 30 seconds like, soon, young one, soon. I think we're going to be okay, I guess. We'll update soon. And as for Mr. Whiskers, yes, he's real. He's my cat, and we've had him for 7 years, if I'm right. Don't get me wrong, I love cats, and Mr. Whiskers, of course, but for 3 whole years that my husband has been doing this role play, I don't know how to explain the mental gymnastics my brain has been doing for the past 48 hours. 3 years. 3 years! This man has been living a double life in the feline underworld while I've been out here thinking he's just playing Fortnite or watching YouTube documentaries about ancient aliens or whatever men do online. I asked him why he even started all this, and do you know what this grown-ass man said to me? It started as a joke, but the people needed me.
Oh my god. Are
The
we
people-
sure this is fake?
The people needed him. I can't even look at him the same anymore. Every time he walks into the room, I hear boss battle music in my head. But here's the worst part. I'm starting to kind of respect him. Y'all don't understand. He's literally a legend. I went deeper into the cat forums. Yes, there are forums, and people are out here writing entire fanfics about the great kibble famine of 2021, which apparently he started by leading some kind of cyber feline revolution against the mods. I married the Che Guevara of cat RP and didn't even know it. P.S. Mr. Whiskers and my daughter joined in. We'll post about the context soon. Okay, so that was just the story. That was the first part. There is an update.
Oh god.
Still from r/stories. Says, I, 27, discovered my husband, 30, has been role-playing a cat online for 3 years, and I'm starting to think I'm the villain. Update. Okay, so it goes over that. Oh, there's no update. It just went over the story again. I kind of want an update.
So I went in to look at my friends list on Guy Online, and then
Yeah.
remembered I had a second one.
Yeah, I think I have 3.
There's
'Cause I can't-
somebody on both of them that's friends with me that's named Dark Shadow Ninja ...
That is not me. I
Yeah.
was never that edgy.
That's the only friends list on both of them. The rest of it says cannot be found. which are
They may-
probably inactive accounts.
I was gonna say then they don't exist anymore. Let me see. I'll check mine to see if I have. See, it's not loading up my avatar anymore, so I don't. I still have Gaia Cash. Where is my friends? Where is it? Friends. There we go. My friends list is empty. So I think this is my secondary account.
Well, you have to go when you click friends, it'll ask you to convert, and you click that, and then you could get your friends list.
Where does it say convert?
It should be like right where your friends list should be. There'll be a little like clickable thing.
No.
Huh.
Oh,
Weird.
I see it. I see it. I see it. I have one.
Here is my second account's avatar. It's not obvious I was in Sailor Moon at all at this time.
I'm trying to. Would this be my? I don't know if this is my main account or not. It should be. It has the Gaia Cache.
I'm pretty sure I had more on my friends list on both of those accounts than is showing. So I don't know. A lot of my life was spent on Guy Online and Neopets. A lot of it.
To be fair, I met
Sailor
my.
Moon was awesome. I even had an email on SailorMoon.com until it died because the website died. God, I miss those times when you could have emails at random ass websites.
This has to be my secondary account.
Maybe.
No. I have a forum. I have forum posts.
I talked to a lot of people on the forums, never added them as friends. That I do know.
No, I actually opened up my own forum, my own guild. Do they still have those?
I don't know. I didn't even check that. Because I think I was actually a part of a guild.
Guild. Okay. Third listing on guilds when I clicked it. Breedables.
Ah.
Um. You know.
I have questions concerning. I don't know if I want to digest it. You know what? There's a mother-in-law Reddit that I'd rather read.
Okay, you want the mother-in-law one because you want a bingo. I know how this works.
No, it's just mother-in-law wants to rename baby. I'm curious on how that one goes.
Milkman is long. Okay. There's two mother-in-laws once. All right, so you want to talk about the baby one. My mother-in-law keeps trying to rename our baby. First post here. Thanks for allowing me to vent. Using my alt account because my main has a few too many identifiers. Within 10 minutes of finding out I was pregnant with a girl, my mother-in-law told me we should name the baby after her. We obviously didn't do that. 4 days after the baby was born, she called the baby a different name that is a combination of her name and the name we chose. I corrected her on the spot. She did it several more times. And each time, we corrected her and asked that she use the baby's given name or a shortened version of it. When she did it again, probably the fifth or sixth occurrence, we confronted her very firmly and told her she will use the given name or the shortened nickname and nothing else. She said we refuse to let her have any joy. Sorry, it's I will explain why I'm laughing about that particular line after I'm done reading. It's not much more. Apparently,
So many
the only
questions.
it has to do with the last book that I narrated.
No, with the mother-in-law.
Oh, yes, Ishtar, you are very breedable. Anyway, apparently the only thing that brings her joy is renaming our baby. But she reluctantly agreed to follow our rules and use the name or shortened nickname we chose. Problem solved, right? Ha! Yesterday, she used another slightly shorter version of the combo name from before. Like Renesmee or something, I don't know. I doubted myself in the moment and wanted to convince myself I misheard, so I didn't confront her this time. But now I'll be back on the alert, and the next time it happens, because of course there will be a next time, we will have to have yet another conversation.
Oh no.
If she wanted to call the baby some cutesy nickname like Sweetheart, or Sugar, or Peanut, or something similar, that would be absolutely fine. But no, she wants to use an actual different name, particularly one that is very close to her own name. Not renaming the baby shouldn't be a boundary that even has to be articulated.
Right?
We are getting very close to going low contact. Okay. Don't rename your daughter-in-law's baby
Yeah,
because
no.
you want to rename something. That's probably not a good thing. Why I'm laughing at the joy thing is there is a portion of the third book that I narrated with Ishtar
Mm-hmm.
that the main character, because I remember I told you it was a harem
Mm-hmm.
kind of story. One of his wives put on a pair of pants after she had been walking around in a sundress.
Mm-hmm.
And has nothing to do with anything that is going on around them. He just stops, sees her in the pants, which he enjoys looking at her in the pants, but puts his hands out in front of him and just yells at her pants, "You stole my joy!" So it just... so it just
What?
because the pants took away the sundress. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny because I understand his his plight whenever Ishtar puts on pants. So, you know,
I mean, fair, each to their own, but why yell at pants?
because the pants blocked her butt. The author was the author was very attention centric on all of the girls in the book's butts, and each one looked a specific way. They were either bubble butts or firm bubble butts. And yes, I am an ass man. There is nothing wrong with being an ass man.
I've noticed when it comes to straight men, specifically straight men, either you're an ass or a tits, not a both. And I don't know why.
Well, I don't. I think it's a growing up thing. I don't know, because I like. For me, and I'm not straight, but for me, that whole I enjoy boobs like every man. They're fun to look at. I'm going to get in trouble for this. Fun to play with, fun to do things with. But my favorite part is the lower half. I'm very much an ass man, but I also like thighs and stomach. Like a stomach, a belly, belly button, things like that is one of my favorite things to look at.
I mean, fair.
Well,
I was just saying, I've noticed more specifically with straight men, it's one or the other. It's not a combination thereof or both. It's one or the other. But when you get, mostly it's bi men that would say they like the whole body and appreciate the whole body for the art that the human body is. But straight men, it's ass, tits, no in between.
well, if you're a straight man, if you're a straight man, it goes into 4 categories. You're an ass man, a tit man, a thigh man, or a feet man. And the first 3 don't like the 4th.
The funny thing is I could tell you why feet fetishes are a thing in psychology. It's really funny.
I thought they still didn't. I thought psychologists still couldn't come up with a consensus of why a feet thing is a thing.
The part of your brain that deals with your feet and controlling feet and recognizing feet is really close to the pleasure part of your body. So a bridge gets made between them.
Oh, a wire gets crossed.
Uh-huh.
Okay, all right, that makes more sense. Because I know, I know, fetishes and things like that develop over time through things that happen in your life.
That and
And I think,
genetics.
I think that's why they couldn't figure out about the feet thing, because um, feet are not normally like an erogenous zone. They also aren't normally something that is considered sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Like feet are seen as feet. They're dirty. They have calluses. It's all of their feet.
Mm-hmm.
So the connection to the fetish, they couldn't figure out what it was, at least as far as I knew, as of a few years ago. But if the stuff that like the wires in your brain that are connected to actually understanding what feet are get crossed, well, yeah, I can see how that makes more sense.
Yeah, it's
Does
an ass.
masochism work in the same way?
I just put the answer to that in the chat. I just copied and pasted my little essay thing from a class. But there's a lot of interesting psychology behind masochism as a whole. But yeah, your kinks, for the most part, are genetic. That and your mom or dad share the same kinks as you.
I think Ishtar was asking, like, the same way that your brain gets crossed with the feet. Is it the same way that being a masochist happens?
I mean, yeah, and I know she knows what it is. Just that's the only information I can remember from my human sexuality course on it. But I believe a lot of it is genetics.
Well, it's not even. I wouldn't say it's genetics, because it's most people grew up, and that's why there are a lot more masochists now. Is because most of our generation grew up and they got spanked at a very early age, and just like with abuse, your brain turns something that was painful when you were younger into a pleasure zone when you're older. And it's how your brain copes with what happened, the trauma of it.
I do know when it comes to the brain, the human brain as a whole, the way you view pain and pleasure is the exact same. Neurons are firing. The exact same.
Yeah.
Some people,
because there is a very thin line between pain and pleasure, yes. And you can trip one and go into the other.
Pain and pleasure both enter the brain through the brain stem. They don't have their own specific nerve line, I guess you can say. So wires can get crossed in the brainstem itself, but for the most part, it is genetics. Now, it is not always your parents have that genetic make code activated, but it is genetics. How we deal with pain as a whole, may we hate it, like it, our tolerance is usually genetics. Now, when it comes to the psychological aspect, because pain is 100% a psychology thing, over time, the way we act to pain changes. If we are chronically in pain, your 10 will end up being like my 2. Because over time, it goes from a 10 to a 9 to an 8. So far down, the longer it exists. You could also push yourself to start enjoying things and making it seem to become an award, associating like pain with pleasure. Like if I get cut, I know I'm going to have fun time afterward. So it becomes more turny-on-y. But pain as a whole is a genetic marker. Did that make sense, or did I nerd out?
No, for me, you roboted, so I didn't hear half of what you said.
Boo.
I'm sure the chat heard it. I didn't hear it. But I think it's more the pain tolerance thing is something that you're talking about being genetic. But that is also part of the being able to deal with trauma. I understand if you're constantly at a 10, eventually your brain will shift to make that something less and less, and you do eventually learn. I don't want to say learn to deal with it, but you learn to
tune it out.
Yeah, your body. I mean, that's what shock is all about, right?
You want to hear something fascinating? Since we're on the whole pain, and well, it's one of the many things that I enjoy because I'm a health psychologist.
Sure.
The reason why you resort to rubbing or sucking on a painful area, like if you were to get a paper cut on your finger, you would immediately put your finger in your mouth. The reason you do this is a natural, unconscious reaction to trying to induce the body's natural painkillers, the gamma B neurons. So it makes you go, oh, your body goes, ow, this hurts. You're like, it's okay, I got this. And then the pain goes away because you're sucking on your finger.
All right, that makes sense. I kind of do. I kind of do the same thing. Like, I am fair of complexion behind the avatar. So when I get too much sun, I turn as red as my hoodie. When I was younger, I found out a really good way of avoiding the peeling and the pain of a sunburn is I take a hot shower. Now, you're not supposed to do that because it hurts. I have a very high pain tolerance. So I would take a hot shower in my sunburns instead of lasting for a week, lasted for about a day or two.
That's not a pain tolerance. That's pain threshold.
Well,
Pain threshold is how much pain you take until you feel the pain, and pain tolerance is how much pain you have until you can't stand the pain no more.
well, I have both.
I mean, fair, so do I.
But I taught this to Ishtar as well, and it works. What it's doing. So, for those of
It's
you who
another
don't know
thing
what a
that does with
sunburn,
psychology. The human body can only focus on one pain at a time, and when you have an all-over pain and then you add another all-over pain, the body can't focus on anything.
yeah, I'm talking about more of the actual what the body is doing with the heat. So a sunburn is damaging your first layer of skin, right? Depending on the severity, that's why you get a 1st-degree sunburn all the way up to a 3rd-degree sunburn. It's the level of skin layers that it has been damaged.
It is no different
Most,
than getting a burn from a house. Like your 1st-degree burn is the same as your 1st-degree sunburn, so forth, such.
yeah. So most people get a 1st-degree sunburn.
Mhm.
What? Not the psychology behind what you're doing with the hot shower, but the science behind it is you are just like with a blister, you are forcing the skin underneath to harden, and that's why you peel. The skin underneath the sunburn, that of the damaged skin, hardens enough, causes the skin to peel, and then you have a whole brand new set of skin.
Mhm.
Putting the hot water on it forces it to do it faster. It's basically telling the body, oh, okay, we need to do this. We have to do it now because it's damaged. But that's just what I do for a sunburn. I don't know if I would do it for like a 2nd-degree sunburn. That's something completely different. And a 3rd-degree sunburn, well,
Better go to the
you need
hospital.
yeah, for that you go to the hospital and they put nice things on you. But it's more of the pain tolerance of that. All right, so we understand. I have a question for you.
I have another
We
question
understand.
as well.
Okay, we have a understanding of why masochists become masochists, right? They enjoy the sensation of pain, like you said, yeah, pain, or trauma or embarrassment, etc.
Mhm.
What about sadists?
What about them?
What makes them? Well, what makes them start to enjoy causing that?
Control. It's purely what it is. It's I'm in control of the human body well, most humans, especially those very masculine coded, enjoy control. And it's I'm in control of giving you pain. That's really what it boils down to. That one's very simple.
Yeah, I agree with Ishtar. That fits.
So, I know Antwon didn't lecture, but I definitely did. Should we still count that because it was a lecture?
No, because it doesn't say Banshee lectures. It says Antwon lectures. That is my own personal. That is my own personal space. You do not get to bogart my space.
I did exactly what I wanted to do. Get you to lecture about the space so I can click it.
That wasn't. That wasn't a lecture. That was a scolding. Uh, but yes, the reason I asked about the sadism thing is because I am a sadist.
Well,
I
I
enjoy.
figured for every masochist there is a sadist. Balance. The world needs balance. For every one, there is another. And in order for a masochist to be happy, especially in the pen room, they must have a sadist. So I kind of figured it out on my own.
I'm glad you figured it out, but Ishtar agrees with me. Don't worry, it's like one of the few times she agrees with me. But
Fine, I'll unclick it.
I just like I do enjoy. This is probably going a little bit farther than I should. I do enjoy controlling what Ishtar does. We have played with the idea of instead of just sadist and masochist, the idea of pet and owner.
Don't you also have the dom and sub?
Yes. Which I still am her dom. She is my sub. But there's a different level when you start doing pet and owner, and then of course there's slave and master. Slave is something completely like slave is a whole thing. But we dabbled in the pet owner play, and we still do a little bit. But Ishtar is way too much of a brat to actually be a pet.
Cats are brats.
Yes.
Cats are pets. Ferrets are brats. Ferrets are pets. Bearded
Yes,
dragons are brats. Biggest brats of them all. They're still pets.
I believe what Final Fantasy is asking is how a switch. A switch is someone who can go between dom and sub. A switch doesn't necessarily mean that they are a sadist and a masochist, or a sadomasochist, which of course is someone who enjoys and causing the pain to themselves. A switch just means that they enjoy the dominant personality traits as well as a submissive personality traits. Most of the time in the lifestyle of BDSM, a switch doesn't necessarily go to the extremes one way or the other. Like submissives who are submissives will go to extremes and like to be pushed in their submissive behavior. Doms like to push and go farther with their dominant behavior. A switch tends to stay somewhere right around in the middle. They don't necessarily go too far, but they don't necessarily they're not just I like to be dominant at certain times, and then I like to be domed at other times. It's more fence city. And yes, you do have trouble letting go of the levels to become a pet, which is why we don't play that game anymore. We stick with the roles that we are comfortable with. So it's not a big deal. Do you know about the levels, Banshee?
Huh?
The levels in the Dom and Sub. pet owner, slave master, and the
Wait,
intensity
didn't
of
we talk about this on one of your streams on a Wednesday? Me,
possibly.
you, Ishtar.
I think you and I talked about it when you brought up Alpha Dom.
Maybe.
I think. God, I haven't thought about him in a while.
He's dead.
Like physically or just channel?
Bleh.
He died.
Mhm.
What happened?
Well, TikTok does not have a consistency of how it happened. Anywhere between suicide and a car crash.
Well, I feel bad that he died. I mean, I think he was an asshole, but... Huh. Oh, shit. All right.
Same with the Florida dude, the crypto dude.
Which one?
The one that lives in Florida that was the King Crypto man. Had all the fake jewelry.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
I showed him to you on TikTok when we were watching one of his things. I would have to find him on TikTok to know what he used to go by. But he was like happy he was in Florida, called himself the king of crypto. He hung himself.
Well, that's not good either. Well, I don't want to end on a bad note about suicide, so I'm going back to Reddit real quick.
That's fair. I think there's an I am an asshole one that was short and good.
Well, there's two short ones, so I'll do two short ones.
Okay.
First one, we're going to do co-worker stories. Boss thought my co-worker was being cruel. A little bit of dark humor from the office. I just found this sub, and it's one of my favorite stories from a dark time in my life. Copy and pasted from my post in r/miscarriage a few years ago. Oh, trigger warning. Mention of miscarriage. You don't say.
We went from suicide to miscarriage. That went dark.
For context, I work with two men today. Boss man, who's in his 40s, and my boss. And then there's Jim, who's my age, mid-20s. And we spend a lot of time sending each other dumb memes on instant messenger through the office. Sounds like my work. Jim and Bossman both knew I was pregnant. On Friday, I went to the ER and I told Bossman that I needed to leave work because I thought I was miscarrying. He was super understanding. Over the weekend, I miscarried, and when I came in this morning, Bossman asked how everything turned out on Friday, and I said, not great. Bossman got the message. It was pretty awkward after that, but I can successfully say I did not cry at work. Anyway, during lunch, Jim was talking about these ghost pepper gumballs and sent me a picture of them over instant messenger. I responded with a joke about how we need to fill gumball machines at Chuck E. Cheese to teach kids a lesson about too much sugar. To clarify, I would never.
Wow.
To clarify again, I definitely would. Jim responded, okay, Satan, and we chuckled. Jim came back into the office after lunch, still laughing about the ghost pepper gumball conversation. In front of Bossman, he goes, so, oh, that's their screen name, Ella B. Cedar, tell me, why do you like to kill children? Let's start that sentence over, shall we? Jim came back into the office after lunch, still laughing about the ghost pepper gumball conversation. In front of Bossman, he goes, so, Ella, tell me, why do you like to kill children?
Oh.
Guys, the sheer look of panic and shock on Bossman's face when Jim said that absolutely sent me. Jim had no idea about the miscarriage, but Bossman for sure thought he was about to have an HR suit on his hands. I quickly sped Bossman up to speed about the context of the conversation, but holy shit, that man was worried. I'm still cackling. I mean, that's something you say to your coworker. So, why do you like to kill children? Hold on.
Boss man's
Don't
like,
say
shit,
that.
this is HR, there's going to be a lot of paperwork.
All right. This one. Am I the asshole for not disclosing that I am not Christian? No.
No.
I can tell you right now, you're not the asshole.
But I would like, before we go on to this one, I would like to admit that I would also like to put the gumdrops in the kids' gumdrop machine.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm so kind of dark that I would actually make friends with the Annabelle doll.
Do you know what's going... Before we read this, do you know what's going on with Annabelle right now?
Yeah, unfortunately.
She's on a tour.
Yeah, she's on her Eras tour. She's currently on break back connecting until July, and then she's going to Gettysburg.
They're taking supposedly the most haunted doll in history on a tour.
They've
where
taken
people
her on
are
tour many times before, but never like this. She is going to actual haunted places instead of random things that's not. I swear
and they're taking her out. They're taking her out of her containment. They're letting people hug her. They're letting people what? Listen, if you are someone who honestly believes, I believe in ghosts, but if you are someone that honestly believes that this is the most haunted doll in history,
I wouldn't say she's
and they
the
are,
most, but she's definitely up there.
but regardless, that they're taking her on tour and letting people. What is wrong with you? Why would you go there and go, oh yeah, she's extremely haunted? The spirit that is in this doll has been known to follow people home. Let's go ahead and give her a fucking hug.
Yeah.
What is wrong with people? Don't answer that. I know what's wrong with people. They're dumb. I just... Why? Of all the things to let out of her containment, it would be like if the Ghostbusters were a real thing, and you went and saw that they have a containment unit, and you go, oh, all of the ghosts you caught are in there, right? And they go, yes. What would happen if I turned it off? Don't do that. And then you turn it off.
Honestly, I think out of all three dolls that we have here in the States, the one that is the most haunted is Lily, which is at Dumbass's museum.
The Haunted Museum in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Yes, Ishtar has seen Lily. Because we went... I understand why you call him dumbass, but we went there during the honeymoon.
He is so disrespectful to the paranormal and has made his fortune off the paranormal. Of course, I'm going to call him a dumbass because he is a dumbass.
The
when
thing
he
is,
dies, I swear to God, it's going to be the scene of Ghost where the shadow people just drag the dude away.
Now, hold on. I know he's not Asian. At least I don't think he's Asian. Is he Asian?
No, he's not.
Okay.
He's very American. He's very European white.
If in Asian culture, in order to deal with the spirits and scare them away, you're supposed to be aggressive. You're supposed to cuss at them. You're supposed to yell at them. And it makes them go away. So...
Yeah, but he doesn't do it for that reason. We both know that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you could say he's appropriating Asian spirit culture.
I guess, but and then the one doll that I actually would be terrified out of the three most haunted dolls that we have in the state is Robert.
Which one's Robert?
Robert the doll. You have not heard about Robert the doll.
We can save that for next time. You know what? We'll save it for next time, and we will bring Ishtar on as well because she loves this ghost shit.
Okay.
All right, let me read about the not Christian, and then we can head out of here.
I would like to point out I am pouting currently.
You can pout, but we're gonna have a whole show about the paranormal. How's that?
Okay.
No pouting. I will get the spray bottle. To preface this, I do commissioned artwork and don't discriminate. Discriminate. I don't know where the hell that word came from. I'm a narrator. And don't discriminate against any subject unless it's racist, homophobic, otherwise hateful, or sexually disturbing. So they don't do diaper fur stuff, which gross. I did a commissioned art piece with Christian iconography, a beautiful ornate cross, a saint, and scripture in calligraphy. The client was happy with my work, paid me, and then asked me what my favorite scripture was. I was honest and just said, "Oh, I don't really have one because I'm not a Christian and wouldn't really know which ones I'd like." He became upset and told me that he felt lied to because I have posted artwork of Christian subjects before, and he assumed I would be Christian. He said the art doesn't hold the same spiritual value because it wasn't made with faithful intent. What the fuck is faithful intention? I was kind of unsure what to say.
We'll
I said,
talk about
"I'm sorry."
faithful intention when we talk about the paranormal, okay? Okay.
All right. I'm sorry you feel that way, but I do artwork for everyone, and I'm open to doing Christian artwork because it's for the client, not me. Should I be disclosing if I don't share a certain faith when commissioned to do an artwork for it? Am I the asshole?
No.
No! It was an ornate cross, a saint, and scripture, and you loved it. It doesn't change it just because the person who did it is not the same religion as you.
Mm-hmm.
Or religious at all.
Mm-hmm.
Not the asshole.
Not the asshole.
And to be point out, the tag that it is not, it got tagged with not the asshole. So it is general consensus.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. We have 4 minutes to end this.
Well, I think we can do that. Doesn't take long to end this. So, thank you for joining us, everyone. This has been Threads of Truth for the 3rd week in a row. Unfortunately, we're going to break our streak next week because Antwon has to have some surgery. But after that, we'll be back with the paranormal and Ishtar. So, I hope you had fun. I hope you learned some things.
And
I
Little
hope
Banshee. Little Banshee be joining us.
Oh, that works too. So a party of 4. Maybe we'll hold an online seance. You don't know.
We will not.
So I thank you for joining us. My
One
name is
cyber
Antwon.
demon is enough.
My name is Antwon, and I am the co-host of the most wonderful Deaf Banshee. And we hope to see you all next time.